1 year ago, I started a 30-day McDiet. 30 days on Only McDonald's, and I lost 16 pounds. Before becoming the Postman wrestler I'm known for today, I was known as this guy. Just like Morgan Spurlock, I embarked on a mission to live on Only McDonald's for 30 days straight. Unlike Super Size Me, however, my project was a little different. Back in 2003, when Spurlock started filming his documentary, obesity was becoming an increasing issue, especially in America. And at that time, McDonald's were coming under a lot of scrutiny in the media. People were blaming McDonald's for their obesity and even trying to sue them. Fast forward to 2018, last year, and the landscape had changed. The health and fitness industry is bigger than ever, people are more conscious of what they eat, and people are more knowledgeable, or so they think. McDonald's improved their menu by introducing healthier options and making it far easier for people to find out nutritional information on what they're eating. But despite all of this, most people still have that Super Size Me documentary in the back of their minds with regards to McDonald's and weight gain. I understand Morgan's purpose of the documentary. He wanted to draw attention to obesity and the link to fast food restaurants. He wanted to highlight internal health issues and how the massive amount of calories he was consuming led to rapid weight gain. I love Super Size Me, but unfortunately most people took the points he was trying to make and summarised it as McDonald's makes you fat. Most people who are into their fitness understand the calories in versus calories out formula. Consume more calories than you burn and you'll gain weight. Burn more calories than you consume and you'll lose weight. But generally most people ignore this and still associate weight gain and weight loss with the certain types of foods they're eating as opposed to a calorie surplus or calorie deficit. So after watching another documentary on McDonald's where once again they were getting the blame for making people fat, I decided to make a project of my own using the formula just mentioned. Here were the rules, the plan of attack, and what I wanted to achieve. I would consume all of my calories from McDonald's every day for 30 days. Like Super Size Me, I'd have to consume every item off the menu at least once. Super Size Me saw Morgan Spurlock consume double the recommended daily amount of calories, which is around 5,000 calories a day. I'd start the project on the recommended amount of 2,500 calories a day, which for me was a slight calorie deficit of around 500 calories. So using the calories in versus calories out formula, it would look like this. Before you go, ooh, calories in versus calories out, aren't you missing the point of Super Size Me? Just ask Pat, who lives next door, if she thinks living on McDonald's will make her fat. Chances are she will. Ask Dave from the pub about his diet. Hey Dave, what you doing to lose weight, mate? Guaranteed he'll tell you he's cutting out fast food. It might be a simple calorie game to us, but to the general public, they just don't get it. So what I planned to achieve was to create a dramatic before and after transformation. I knew I could cause a stir and generate a lot of intrigue. With people interested, I'd be able to rid the myths and simplify the way people looked at weight loss. Ironically, by starting this fad diet, it would actually shed light on the problem with most other fad diets. Before I show you my transformation progress over the 30 days, I just want to confirm this experiment was based on weight loss and creating a visual change. I don't recommend sticking to purely one restaurant for an extended period of time. This project was inspired by Super Size Me, but not a direct response to Super Size Me. I felt great over the 30 days, but that's me. I conducted no conclusive tests to support my internal health. I can only go by my energy levels, mood, sex drive, etc., which were all great over the 30 days. Here I am on day one, weighing 199 pounds, with a body fat of around 11%. I was and still am a postman, so I burn more calories a day than the average male. My girlfriend wasn't too pleased when I started this because I literally filmed every single meal of every single day. I also uploaded my vlogs to this YouTube channel on a daily basis.
Hello ladies and gents, 1 year later today, October the 1st, marks exactly 1 year since I started the 30-day McDiet, and I'm sat here today with my notes because I am terribly forgetful. I don't want to miss anything out. I want to kind of answer the questions that were asked off the back of what I did. I want to clear up why I did it, what I learned from that little experiment, what I'd have done similarly, what I'd have done differently, what I've done since in the past year, and etc, etc. So let's go over what I've been up to the past year. As I mentioned at the start of the documentary, I've trained to be a wrestler since making that. My journey has very much gone a wrestling route. Back a year ago I was YouTube obsessed. I just wanted to make videos and stuff. The 30 days of constantly filming, editing and uploading definitely burnt me out and definitely postponed my YouTube journey somewhat, but I took a wrestling journey instead, so yeah. But most importantly, have I had McDonald's since the 30-day McDiet? Well, obviously, of course, I still love McDonald's, but I've probably only had like a handful of McDonald's over the past year. You know, before, if I craved something, it would usually be McDonald's, but my cravings have taken a different route now. I don't tend to go to McDonald's all that much, but I still love them. No negative energy from me towards you, Ronald McDonald. So let's crack on. What things would I have done differently now if I was to redo the 30-day McDiet? Now, originally it was supposed to be a documentary, but albeit very much influenced by Super Size Me, I didn't want it to have that direct comparison to Super Size Me, because it was not a direct response to Super Size Me. What I was doing was a direct response to the perception that McDonald's makes you fat, which, albeit not necessarily the point of Super Size Me, Morgan Spurlock was trying to highlight the same points I was trying to make to an extent with regards to calories and weight gain and weight loss, etc. But the people watching that documentary kind of took it as McDonald's makes you fat. So the response, the reason I was doing it was to clarify that. But anyway, I knew if I was to make a documentary, it would basically look like a crap Super Size Me. So I chose to film every single meal, edit every single day's footage, and upload on my YouTube channel every single day, 30 days straight. So that was a brutal schedule. Now, in hindsight, I might have done like a highlights every few days, or maybe even a video once a week. That way it would have took the pressure off the film and the editing, all the hours it took. It was tough on my missus because she didn't really see me. And I think it might have impacted how I felt, because people kept saying I looked tired and stuff. And obviously they knew I was doing the McDiet, so would have blamed that. When really it was the vigorous schedule I had at the time. I was literally flat out, sleeping a few hours a night just to get everything done. And albeit feeding fine throughout the 30 days, it would have been a hell of a lot easier had I not filmed, edited and uploaded every single day. So I probably would have changed that. The most obvious one, and the one that's always bugged me since that very first episode went out a year ago was the fact that we got my body fat percentage horrendously wrong, horribly wrong on day one. Matt made the mistake, he tested my body fat like 3 times. Somehow we got it at like 7% or something like that, stupidly low. And looking at me on day one, visually just looking at me, I was not that body fat percentage. Now I should have known that with my background in fitness, having done body fat tests in the past. I should have known that and I should have addressed that at the time, but I trusted Matt and somehow he told me that all my fat was stored around my belly and I had lean legs, etc. When me and Matt kind of made a mistake. So a few days later we retested my body fat, we got it somewhere between like 11 and 12%, a lot more realistic. And visually you can see the body fat change throughout the 30 days, but it's just a little bit annoying when people go back and watch the series that my body fat is horrendously wrong. I think I might have cut it out of the episode now, I'm not too sure, but that's the story behind the wrong body fat. Kind of a big deal when this was based upon a visual change in the body through McDonald's. I would have emphasized the points I was trying to make. Now, back a year ago, like, I was so YouTube obsessed. A year ago, I just wanted YouTube views, YouTube subscribers, and here I am a year later, not really doing very well. I'm set like 2,500 subscribers, not getting many views, but I've not really done much the past year, but back a year ago, I was obsessed. So I knew this series would cause a bit of a stir, and I thought it would be my key to YouTube notoriety. It didn't really happen. Obviously, the story went kind of viral, but my YouTube videos didn't. So I wasn't really interested in pushing the actual point I was trying to make, and that was that restricted calories, be in a calorie deficit, and regardless of the food you're eating, you will lose weight. And that was the backbone of what I was trying to show. It was not an experiment on internal health. I was not trying to say that McDonald's makes you healthy. I was trying to address the calorie issue that you can eat whatever you like and still lose weight. And I also wanted just to show through how I felt through my daily life, being somewhat active, that I wasn't negatively impacted by the McDonald's I was eating. As I've mentioned, there were no conclusive tests. I did my blood pressure. My blood pressure always remained in range. I was sleeping fine, and despite that vigorous schedule, I was very much fine on my muck diet. But I really should have emphasized the points I was trying to make and the points I wasn't trying to make. I wasn't trying to push this as a healthy way of living. The things I did right or well, and I wouldn't have changed, I stuck to the rules. I stuck to my calorie limits every day. I kind of spilled over sometimes, but then I went under sometimes, and pretty much very honest about everything I did. At the end, the last few days, we did kind of like a water manipulation like you do prior to a bodybuilding contest. So if you watch the episodes from like day 25, 26, 27, and then look to that very last episode, you'll see that visually I was a lot drier. Now, it's hard to manipulate your carbs and your sodium intake and stuff through a McDonald's diet. It's not as easy unless you've got options of like every food, because McDonald's food is usually quite high in carbs and quite salty as well. So we did the water loading, depleting, etc. So yeah, I was very, very honest in every little thing I did, despite kind of some negative criticism, which we might get onto in a moment. They're the controversial issues I will address in a moment. I did create some media attention, which was the aim, albeit a little bit late. My health remains pretty decent throughout, I can't really complain about that. And I did create that shocking before and after shot or footage that I was after. It was crucial when I started this that I had that real big comparison between day 1 and day 30 or 31, whatever. In hindsight, I perhaps would have got that done through pictures. I did speak about maybe getting a photo shoot done after. Time, there was literally just no time with everything I was doing, working full time, filming every meal, editing every single day and uploading every single day. Time was an absolute issue. So I did pretty well considering my limited time. I survived, my girlfriend survived, my relationship survived, and then we went on a lovely 2-week holiday in a Dominican Republic. It was beautiful. So, negative reaction, negative criticism. You cannot start a 30-day McDiet and not expect any negativity. Despite my good intentions, despite trying to show people that they can enjoy dieting, they can eat the foods they want to eat whilst on a diet, albeit in a calorie restricted diet, I knew that people would be, what about your health, right? This isn't a healthy way of living. McDonald's isn't healthy food. Oh, people are gonna take this as you can eat McDonald's and lead a healthy lifestyle. Never once did I say that I would recommend anyone living on McDonald's. I was showing that it's not necessarily the devil. There are options on the McDonald's menu. There's salads, etc. I didn't do health tests, etc. that he did, Morgan Spurlock did on Supersize Me. In hindsight, I sometimes think, should I have done that? Should I have done more like conclusive tests on my internal health? Would that have been more interesting? Probably, but keep in mind that would have completely changed the theme, the style I was trying to create. This was a light-hearted YouTube series. I was having fun throughout, and if I got on a tangent of trying to prove too many different things, it would have become something really serious, and that's not me. I'm a light-hearted, fun guy, so I just kept to the one point of weight loss. And so I wouldn't have changed that. So yeah, everyone that was saying, oh yeah, it's not good for your health, etc. I agree. I've never once tried to prove that point. But that said, I survived and I'm very much fine. So the health, when people throw health and being a healthy, like there was a newspaper article, man lives on McDonald's for 30 days, but nutritionists aren't convinced, and then start saying how it's not good for your health, they wouldn't recommend eating McDonald's. No shit, Sherlock. Come on, common sense. If you've got common sense and you see a guy living on McDonald's, you're not going to think, yeah, I'm going to do that, because that's your problem. That's stupidity. And I'm stupid enough to do that experiment. So yeah, other criticism, calorie counting is obvious. Oh, that's obvious. You can live on lard and still lose weight. Yes, exactly, that's the point I'm trying to make. It's obvious to some of us. It's obvious to us that have some experience with dieting. Maybe we're in the fitness industry, but as I mentioned earlier, you ask Pat from next door, you ask Dave from the pub. These people with no experience in dieting, lack of knowledge, they know nothing about calories in versus calories out. They're programmed through the media, through misinformation, to think that if they eat certain types of foods, they'll get fat. And then if they eat certain other foods, they're going to get thin, as opposed to the general total of calories throughout the day versus calories burned. So obvious to some, not obvious to other people. And those people that said, yeah, that was the point he was trying to make in Supersize Me, I know that. I know the points Morgan Spurlock was trying to make in Supersize Me, but unfortunately, people took those points, twisted them all up, and got something completely different. So I was addressing, getting tired, let's move on. Steroids. This guy must be on steroids. If you'd actually met me in person, if you actually saw me in person, I'm by no means a huge muscular guy. If you saw that guy on day 1 and you saw that guy on day 30 or 31, put them side by side. Do I look massively more muscular? Well, I look a lot more defined, I look a lot leaner, because I've lost body fat. I've lost 16 pounds in 30 days. Now, here's a little thing, right? Anabolic steroids. Do you know what the word anabolic means? Anabolic steroids, to gain, okay? Had I taken anabolic steroids, would I have lost 16 pounds in a month? Chances are no, okay? Steroids do not make you thin. When have you ever heard of people taking steroids to make them thin? This was a weight loss experiment. So if someone took steroids or they didn't take steroids, it would make no difference when it comes to this experiment. This is about weight loss. This isn't about packing on muscle. Just because I happen to be a gym guy, just because I've had a decade of training, decade of building my body. Look at me, I'm not exactly in amazing shape now. I wasn't in amazing shape back then. But creating that visual look, I said earlier about the water manipulation, the dehydration, it makes a lot of difference. Just because someone's vascular, conditioned, doesn't necessarily mean they're on steroids. Look at natural bodybuilders, look at them on stage, they're conditioned, they're vascular, they're pumped. Does not mean they're necessarily on steroids, but obviously people always throw the steroid card at you. So that's kind of what I wanted to make. I can tell people for the next 100 years, if I live that long, I was not on steroids. whether they believe it or not, makes no difference to the actual results of this experiment. I lost 16 pounds. Lost 16 pounds. If I'd have gained 16 pounds in a month, then maybe throw the S word at me. So there we go. You get the odd comment on YouTube or on news stories where it's like bullshit, lies, McDonald's must have paid him. This is impossible. It is impossible to live on McDonald's and lose weight. Whoever is writing those messages, I'm sorry, because if you believe that, if you think that it's the devil and this isn't true, you've been loaded with misinformation, and there's really no direct way of responding to that. If people think it's impossible to lose weight living on fast food, that's your own issue, that's your own fault. So the moral of the story, what can you take from this 30-day experiment as good, useful information? Well, I've mentioned the calorie element to this experiment numerous times, calories in versus calories out, etc. But what you need to take from this is, no, don't go and live on McDonald's for a month, but long term think about your diet, your lifestyle. If you want to stay in shape, how can you create a structure, a plan that is going to be there for you long term? You wouldn't live on McDonald's long term, but you also wouldn't live on salad, rabbit food, and you wouldn't completely eliminate all the foods you enjoy eating. That's unrealistic. You wouldn't do that long term. So the point I'm trying to make is you can still eat at McDonald's and lose weight. You can still eat at KFC, Burger King, Nando's, Pizza Hut. You can still eat all that food and lose weight. Obviously, we need to have good nutritional foods in our diet, so a healthy balance, albeit cliche, is advised. But think of you as a person, your lifestyle, and what will work for you. You cannot live restricted. You cannot live on fish and broccoli unless you're like a pro bodybuilder. You can't live that way. There's going to come a point where you cave in. You have that McDonald's, and because of wrong information, you're going to eat that McDonald's with a real negative mindset, thinking you've ruined your diet. That's it, diet over. But then you're going to have a chocolate bar. You're going to go on a rampage. Think, right, diet over. It happens every year in January. People start their New Year diets. They start taking out every bit of food they enjoy from their cupboards, from their fridge, thinking I can't eat this and I can't do that. They start telling themselves, they start in a completely negative mindset. Now, with good information, like some of the information I've shared with you today, by knowing, understanding what you're eating and what you're doing, you're going to have a better understanding about how you can diet and create a long-term plan. So, you want a McDonald's, you're on your diet, you want a McDonald's, you think, oh, if I have a McDonald's, I'm going to ruin it. Say you have 1,000 calories worth of McDonald's. Say your daily calorie limit is 2,000 calories. Do the maths. You have 1,000 calories left to play with for the rest of the day. It's up to you how you use those calories. In an ideal world, we'd have a nice balance throughout the day. We'd have perfect amount of protein, carbs and fats. We'd have our 5 a day. We'd have perfectly nutritional food. We wouldn't eat any junk food. That is a perfect, ideal situation, but it's also unrealistic. So just think how you can incorporate the foods you love and enjoy into your diet, because you can do that and still lose weight. That's the point I was trying to make. A good, helpful point like that. So yeah, there we go. That's the moral of the story, peeps. What's next for old Rye? Well, albeit fun to do, this 30-day McDiet isn't something I'm going to continue with. I'm not going to create another month on KFC or something like that. We made the point right now, but I do want to carry on producing content with good, useful information. I'd love to create mini documentary style videos as opposed to those cheesy, typical YouTube videos 1 year ago. I want to create content that's going to inspire people and also motivate people. So yeah, that mini documentary style is something I like and something I'm going to continue with throughout my channel. So if that's something that interests you, it's up to you guys, but hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications to be notified when those videos go live. If you're interested in my journey as a pro wrestler, I do cover some of that on this channel, but mainly that'll be over on my Instagram at The Rivolution. So head over there, hit the follow, and yeah, good times. Thanks loads for watching. I've been Rye, the guy who lived on 30 days. No, start again. I've been Rye, the guy who lived on McDonald's for 30 days straight and lost £16. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.
It's time to go one-on-one with the Postman.